Pots and Pans Production, the parent management company of Scotty's Brewhouse and Three Wise Men Brewing Company. Scotty, as he's dubbed by his late grandfather, is a family man married to his wife Amy of 15 years. Their family includes 4 children: Slater, twins Lincoln and Vaughn, and Ivy. An avid exercise enthusiast, Scott also enjoys spending time with immediate and extended family, and attending sporting events, travel, reading, and always striving to better himself. Scotty is well known as a community philanthropist, consistently committing his time and effort along with monetary and food donations to causes in every city in which his restaurants reside. He is a firm believer in reaching back and offering a hand whenever and wherever is possible and needed. Scotty knows that in life, it's not just his restaurants, that it takes everyone working together to be successful. I've personally been blessed with his friendship for over the last 6 years. The last time he headlined, Sparks created an attendance record, and we have set an attendance record for Sparks at Morty's tonight. So please help me welcome Mr. Scott Wise.
So I'm at 80% right now. My voice is not typically like this. I've got 4 petri dishes for children that decided to infect me with some Zika combined with some kind of virus has anybody seen Blue Man Group before? So front row, you could be Green Man Group tonight or Brown Man Group. We'll see. I think I'm done with all that. We gave a call to Chris this morning at 7 a.m. where I gave him a text and said, dude, I've been puking all night. I don't know if I can do this.
It's not acceptable. You're going to go on.
Well, I'm here. I didn't put in my contacts or take off my pajamas till about an hour ago, but I'm here. So when Chris came to me and asked me to do this, I've talked once before with Sparks, and I really enjoy it. I like getting in front of people and talking. It's truly, obviously my core passion is my restaurant. I love my industry that I'm in. But beyond that, things have changed my life and shaped my life, and I think we all have that. We all carry baggage. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about that, talk about my baggage. I'm not going to talk about your baggage, that's for you to decide. But I think those kind of things really shape who you are, right? Those are the things that are your character builder moments. And so I've talked a lot of times when I get on stage, and I'll talk about, I had a brain infection about 5 years ago, and came very close to death. I'm not gonna. You'd have to come to another talk to hear that. That story I'm not gonna do tonight. But that thing that I went through, it sucked. It was horrible, but it shaped who I've become. It completely revised my thinking personally and professionally in my company, and I'm very thankful for it. This thing on my arm, I was baptized after I went through that because I felt like I was given a second chance, and I wanted to use that for positivity and good in our world. And so I've changed my entire thinking with my company. I've changed my entire thinking with what I do at home and being home with my kids, and it's reshaped my life. So I'm not going to talk about that story because it's a really good one, but we're going to save that for another time. Chris wanted me to talk about something that you've never heard before. So, of course, we've talked about drug dealing tonight, and we've talked about life hacks, which were great. You guys were awesome, by the way. Give them a round of applause. So you're now looking at the screen at something that sounds really, really weird, and I'm going to get to that in a second, but I don't do it all the time, but especially at night, I sit down to pee. So, you know me as this guy right here, or this guy up here on the screen, but I think all of us have a little bit of some kind of curtain that we reside behind, right? I mean, I'll talk on Twitter and I'll say the things that I shouldn't say, and I'm the guy that has to go to HR every Monday morning, and I have to talk to my lawyer every Tuesday morning. But I don't get, the stuff that I send out, even on that platform, is filtered. It might not seem like it for those that follow, and if you do follow, it's usually the stuff that gets me in trouble is from Friday at around 9 o'clock at night when I've had my 3rd beer, through sometime around Sunday morning. But even those things that I say there are filtered, right? I know, I'm smart enough to know, even when I'm drinking, to not say something that's too over the top. We live in this society now where we judge everything that everybody is saying and doing, and we want to shape it and see it 5 different ways to make sure that they're saying what was really coming out of their mouth. So the curtain that I've lived behind, I'll start with back when I was a senior in high school. I had anorexia. I didn't know it at the time, but I was anorexic. I would not eat. I would have a bagel once every couple days, and it was mostly because, I mean, when I look back at it now, I know I was just a chubby kid growing up. I was always the fat kid. I didn't hit puberty till I was like a junior in high school, so all these other kids are, you know, big puffy hair under their armpits, and I'm sitting here in the, you know, corner of the locker room, like not trying to let anybody see me dress. And so I was chubby, and I decided I was going to get skinny. I was going to be like all those cool jocks. It all looked great, ripped up, and so, you know, of course I didn't go to the gym to do that. I just decided to stop eating. I was a swimmer at the time as well, and so I was swimming twice a day. I swam in college my freshman year. I went to DePaul University, with DePaul with a W. And I would swim in the morning at 5 a.m. I would go to the gym and I would run at noon, and then I'd have practice at night for another 2 hours. I was the same height that I was then. I'm 6 foot now. I mean, I'm 180 pounds right now, and my freshman year in college I got down to 130, and I still thought I was fat. It was tough. It was an experience that I look back at, and I know I'm thankful for having two incredible parents that said, if you don't stop eating, we're going to stop paying for your college. That was kind of an easy decision for me to say, okay, I got to figure out a way to get out of this. And so slowly I kind of changed those habits. The second thing that I've talked about the brain infection. It looks like God's like throwing a lot of stuff at me, right? And he has, but it's okay. I'm okay with it because I think that's what's made me, in my opinion, a pretty good person today. So about 10 years ago, I had my retina detached. Has anybody had a retina detachment in the room? Well, look at that. Hot damn. So you guys know what I'm talking about. You might have even used one of these chairs before. That's not me in that chair. When Bruce put this package together for me tonight, I said, find a picture of a retina detachment. He goes, dude, you should have warned me before you had searching Google images for that shit. So, and it was a pretty devastating experience. I remember the day it happened. I was working in Muncie, and I thought my contact was blurry, and I kept trying to clean it. And then so later I got to the doctor. I went to my retina specialist that day, and he stuck a giant needle in my eye. I'm watching this needle like come in my eye. That doesn't fix it. So then we go to have surgery, and so this chair that they built is a way for you to talk to people. There's a mirror underneath it. So you had to keep your head down. I did for I believe 15 days. Even at night, I had to sleep, and I had to rest my head off the end of the bed and sleep that way. So I watched, I think at the time, Lost might have been my movie. So I was binge watching live. This was before I didn't even have an iPad at the time. So I'm just flipping my laptop down and trying to watch a movie while my wife was sleeping. It was pretty horrible. It was a very bad experience. Even today, it's not, it doesn't go back to normal. I've got what they call a buckle around my eye that keeps my eye in a certain shape. A lot of times you'll think I'm looking at you, and I'm really looking at you, and so my eyes are a fucking mess. But I'm okay with that because I've been wearing contacts since I was 4 years old. Honestly, without my contacts in, I'm 2,200 or 2,400. I'm sorry. I'm legally blind without my contacts in, and even with them in, if you see a black SUV driving your way, go wide. And if you wave and I don't wave back, it's not because I'm a dick. I'm blind. I just didn't see it. I'm lucky just to keep it between the lines. So those things, I'm not, at the time when you go through these life issues, everyone in this room has something. We all have some kind of baggage. You might have divorce, bankruptcy, something you've gone through. And you're dealing with those pains. But listen, man, we are all people, human beings, and if there's one thing that I believe I've been charged with in life from God, was to use the restaurants were kind of the vehicle to allow me to, obviously I gotta serve good stuff to get you to come in, but if I can do that right, which we do most of the time, then I can use that vehicle to preach good stuff. And that's kind of why I like doing this stuff, because I feel like that is an opportunity for me to tell people that I can give you all a big hug, a big air hug right now. You don't want to touch me because you don't want this shit virus. But I'm just here to tell you that I ripped the curtain away because I want you to know sometimes we see people and we assume that they've been given everything in life and they walk on this path that is just laced with roses and gold, and that's not how it is. For most everybody in the world, that's not how it is, including me. We all have our things, and I think it's okay to have those things because what this stuff did for me, so the health stuff has made me a crazy fanatic about my body. I always have to work out every day. Even like a day like today, I was mad that I couldn't go to the gym. Even while I'm puking, which is, yeah, it's crazy, but that's what anorexia does to you. It doesn't ever go away. It sits back in the back of your mind. But I've done things for my company. So we do fit challenges. We do Biggest Loser. We do all these. I get a gym membership to everybody in the company that wants to go work out. So it's, in my opinion, what it did was it allowed me to make my company better by letting people know how important exercise is. I don't go and tell them, hey, be anorexic and this is a way to lose weight. I tell them that there's a better way to lose weight. The retina detachment allowed me to, I had to let go. I signed all of our payroll checks. I signed all the checks every day for all of our companies. Well, for 15 days, the company either was going to keep moving forward or was going to stop. And guess what, Scott? The world doesn't stop spinning when you're not, just because you name everything after you because you're so pompous. The world will keep spinning. And it did. And my company kept moving forward. So it was a great thing for me to allow me to let go. So my challenge to you, as we leave here today, and as I wrap up my 10 seconds left, is I've given you all a card. And in that, what I want you to do with that card is give yourself your own personal challenge. I want you to write down a challenge. You can do it now or you can do it tonight, and seal it up in that card and keep that on your vanity. And I want you to take it and open it 30 days from now and see if you've accomplished what you set out to accomplish. Because we can all be better people, and I want you to take my challenge seriously. Thank you for having me.
He's a great guy. Give him another round of applause, folks. And now let's take a selfie together. Oh, it's such a good opportunity to do that. That's awesome. Maybe take a couple extra selfies. I don't know. Maybe not. Okay, fine. All right. So our April headliner is in the audience. Well,